Hello everyone, it's Hayamoto. Sometimes I'm asked, Hayamoto, will you make tutorials? And I honestly don't know what I would make a tutorial on. I know that might sound funny, but it is. I don't really have it in me to explain, I guess, text boxes and stuff. I like talking about systems and procedural stuff. I like talking about programming fundamentals and stuff like that. And I honestly don't know if there's an audience for that sort of stuff. I'm sure there is, but yeah, I don't know what I would make. And so today I kind of have a little bit of a video that's maybe a light tutorial. I don't want to go too much into the code right now because the stuff is fairly complicated. But I want to talk about a topic that I hear a lot, which is the room editor. It catches a lot of flack, and I want to show off this project I've been working on. Anyone that knows me knows that I like to create NES clones in my spare time. And this is no different. This is just the latest attempt at making something interesting. And it should be unsurprising that, it works. This is what you expect to see, right? But what you might not expect to see is, if we look at the room editor, it's just 2 layers. And the layers themselves, I don't know if they'll look weird to you, but I'm hoping they kind of do. Which is, I have a tile layer, and then I have an instances layer. And you'll see that Mario's here. You'll see I got these, I got the coins there, I got the mushrooms there. And honestly, it works a little bit like Mario Maker, in that you can just drag and drop stuff into here. So if I were to restart my program by adding 2 coin blocks there, and I'm not going to put anything in them, just to kind of show that the system works, they just come up as empty in the world because I didn't put anything in them. And so if I were to add a 1-up, and I were to add a coin, and I can even go so far as to say, hey, I want there to be 5 coins in that block, not just 1. 1 coin would be too boring for the player. Let's give them a couple. So boom, now I got my blocks, and I got my 5 coins. Yeah, so what I really want to talk about is that the room editor doesn't have to be as complicated and as bad as people often make it out to be. Like, one of the big complaints that I will usually hear is that it's lacking in features or tools or something like that. And it's kind of an interesting characteristic because, Unity is something that's brought up a lot, and Unity has a very fully featured editor. And I don't want to try to convince you that Unity is good or bad, but what I will say is that one of the things about Unity is that it has so many tools for everything that it sort of encourages people to build things in certain ways and to not necessarily embrace what their project needs, but to embrace what the tools seem to allow. And that's the core of this right here, is I've built a sort of Mario Maker-esque interface for the Gamemaker room editor. And it doesn't have any of these features built into it. The room has no idea how to treat this mushroom and this coin and these blocks or anything like that. That's a bit of clever coding on my part. And one of the most clever, if you will, things that's in here is the pipe entrances and the pipe exits. Because I have a pipe entrance there, and I have a pipe exit there, and I have a pipe entrance there, and I have a pipe exit there. But what might kind of surprise you is that the pipe entrances don't have any code. They do have a link that you can set. I just made 5, so try not to have more than 5 pipes per level, whatever. But yeah, it doesn't have any code. And so how does it know what pipe to go to? Well, I kind of already gave it away. It's that pipe link. The pipe exit will also have a pipe link on it. And I can use that variable to, when Mario goes to transfer through the pipes, and Mario's code is a little bit complex, so I'm not going to dig into here too much, but you can see when he moves into the pipe right here, it will take the pipe that he entered, and it will look for a matching pipe link, and then it will return that as his target. And there you go. So that's not part of the room editor. It's not as fancy as me, I guess, being able to drag and drop a icon between the 2 pipes or something like that. But I can just set 2 variables on either pipe and use that to link them And then boom, now they know about each other. So in code, I can look that up and I can do something interesting with it. The pipe exits are very similar to that because, you know, like this pipe exit right here, it doesn't know any, you know, like I didn't tell the room editor anything about this pipe exit. And the same way goes right here with this exit. Like he has to exit through a pipe, and you may have noticed that in game, when he came through that first pipe, he just falls. And when he comes through the second pipe, he actually rises up out of it. Of course, this is what you would expect to happen. But none of that is in the room editor. I just drag and drop the pipe exit. And again, we might ask, well, how did I do something like that? And the answer is here is during the room start event, I essentially look around the pipe and I find an open space. And when the tile above the pipe is unobstructed, it goes, oh, okay, the exit is up. And again, when I'm having Mario move through the level, I can look up this exit and I can say, oh, I need to exit through the top. And again, I didn't have to put any of that into the room editor. You know, when it comes to the room editor, because I have a little bit of code like that in my object, I can just place it right here. And interestingly enough, if I wanted my pipe to exit right there, it would still work, because it's not that it cares about a pipe. All it cares about is that when I place it in the world, that there's a free space for it to go through. And I kind of hope that when you look at that, you go, wow, that wasn't really all that much code. Maybe you don't fully understand what it's doing, but you can see that with just a little bit of code on my object interpreting the world around it, I can convert it into a much more powerful room editor object. I can change it from something that requires a lot of configuration or might be kind of confusing or whatever, and I reduce it down to just an item that I just drop in there. Kind of like the items in the blocks. If I want to have an item in this block, I just drop an item in that block. And boom, it's an item block now. And yeah, and that's kind of what I wanted. That's what I wanted to point out with the room editor. And that's the thing that it's. If there's some interest in that, please let me know, and perhaps I'll do a video or some videos on essentially tricks and techniques you can use to get the most out of the room editor. And yeah, so that's my video. I hope you enjoy it, and let me know if that interests you. Good night.